View.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's been overwhelming my past couple days. So I just went in there, did my thing. I had no idea what to expect. I didn't know who Sunny Hostin was. I actually still really don't know. So I wasn't expecting necessarily for her to kind of try to ambush me in that way and attack my character in that way.
Well, it is the show that people love to hate.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
They get so much hate watching viral clips of them saying ridiculous things. I mean,
yeah.
it is a rabies infection.
The situation is already in full-blown panic mode, and Joe Rogan has made it 10 times worse. The View was recently sued by Karoline Leavitt for an astounding $800 million. Currently, ABC officials are rushing to tidy up the mess. Here's where. It gets crazy, though. Given how severely Joe Rogan criticized Sunny Hostin, her own network may be reconsidering their support for her. He said something that caused the internet to go crazy. And might The View's legal troubles mark the start of its demise? Stay tuned, as this tale is more bizarre than anyone could have imagined. Let's just say that Joe Rogan's recent betrayal of Sunny Hostin wasn't beautiful, so everyone should prepare. The internet is ablaze with talk over his vicious takedown because he didn't hold back. The View was already dealing with a lot of criticism following Karoline Leavitt's huge lawsuit, and Rogan's roast just made things worse. You'll want to watch how this all turns out. I promise. It just taken a crazy turn. The View recently received a huge lawsuit from Karoline Leavitt, and there is nothing but chaos in the aftermath. Behind-the-scenes meltdowns, legal panic, and a last-ditch effort to limit the damage are all on the table. The View believed they could make fun of Karoline and get away with it, but they were terribly underestimating her. The hosts of the show and ABC executives are sweating over her retaliatory lawsuit. And just when you thought their situation couldn't get much worse, Joe Rogan intervened.
If you average out the View hosts, among the dumbest people on television.
Sunny's dumb. Certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say.
He completely destroyed Sunny Hostin, and the internet is going crazy over it. His ruthless takedown was so vicious that many are questioning whether the View can ever bounce back. You better buckle up, because things are going to get crazy. Karoline Leavitt didn't anticipate this. She believed it would be another interview when she went on The View, but instead she stepped right into a trap. She acknowledged that she didn't know who Sunny Hostin was, and that she still doesn't think highly of her even after the episode. However, she was taken aback by Hostin's violent attempts to undermine her, including personal assaults and character assassination. A one-sided takedown attempt swiftly replaced what had begun as a discussion, but the truth is, Karoline wasn't going to overlook it. The criticism of The View is only growing now that a lawsuit is being considered, and Joe Rogan is jumping in. What was the beginning of this whole mess? It's The View doing what they do best, which is to target everyone who doesn't align with their goals. They targeted Karoline Leavitt, a young, vocal conservative who defies their rules this time. Joy Behar and Sunny Hostin, however, went beyond a reasonable conversation. They went straight for personal assaults in an attempt to discredit her and disregard her completely, rather than merely challenging her opinions. Karoline wasn't going to back down, so that's where they made a big mistake. Their careless remarks have now led to a lawsuit that has the potential to completely alter the situation.
Don't like this woman, she's a good communicator, and so Joy Behar just offered her analysis on why Leavitt was picked.
Taking a cheap jab, Joy Behar smirked and implied that Karoline Leavitt's job was only given to her because Trump finds her attractive. Sunny Hostin then entered the fray, using her standard identity politics tactic to minimize Karoline's accomplishments. By calling her privileged while utterly disregarding the reality that she worked hard to establish her career, she simply sat there and nodded, allowing everything to unfold. Whoopee. But they made a huge calculation error here. Karoline had no intention of letting them get away with it. Rather than remain mute or defend herself, she reversed the situation. The View was rocked by what followed, and they are currently rushing to limit the damage. Karoline didn't simply act defensively. She attacked. She criticized The View for their alleged feminism, which she believes only applies to women who share their political views and exposed their double standards. She didn't, however, stop at words. She did something about it. Karoline claimed her reputation was severely damaged by The View's insults and filed an astounding $800 million defamation lawsuit against them. Panic has now taken hold. The hosts are reportedly rushing behind the scenes as ABC execs work feverishly to limit the damage.
I vow to provide the truth from this podium. We ask that all of you in this room hold yourselves to that same standard. We know for a fact there have been lies that have been pushed by many legacy media outlets in this country about this president, about his family, and we will not accept that. We will call you out when we feel that your reporting is wrong or there is misinformation about this White House.
Boom. She's got more.
I would like to point out to each and every one of you that in 2024, when Joe Biden was in the Oval Office, or upstairs in the residence sleeping, I'm not so sure, egg prices increased 65% in this country.
Bam!
And right when their situation couldn't get much worse, Sunny Hostin was brutally taken down by Joe Rogan when he entered the conversation. In addition to criticizing Sunny Hostin, Joe Rogan completely discredited her image. When she attacked anyone who didn't fit her political agenda, he called her out for always playing the victim. He wasn't finished either. Her so-called journalistic integrity was directly attacked by Rogan, who revealed that The Viewpoint has a history of changing its mind and has praised Trump when it was convenient for them.
I wanted to talk to you about. I wanted to play this, but we decided we shouldn't play it. We don't want anybody to have any sort of a way to get it down. The episode of you when you were on The View, when you were running for president.
Right.
Donald Trump is a billionaire, a real estate mogul, and a television star. But does he really want to add President of the United States to his resume? A lot of people would like him to.
You got introduced as our friend Donald Trump.
Please, let's find out, and please welcome my friend, Donald Trump.
That's right.
Whoopi Goldberg gives you a big hug and a kiss. Joy Behar gives you a big hug. Barbara Walters gives you a big hug. They all loved you.
How you doing? We're so happy to have you. Whenever you're on with us, we're very happy.
We love it.
They're talking about you in such a favorable light. The audience was cheering, and then you actually started winning in the polls, and then the machine started working towards you.
Joe Biden knows how to do this.
Trump. Yeah.
He tends to just...
Before portraying him as the worst person on the planet, he even made fun of the entire structure of The View, likening it to a disorderly talk show where the loudest shouting takes precedence over facts. Then, the internet exploded. Joe Rogan just spent 5 minutes doing more actual journalism than The View has done in years. Up until a conservative woman voices her opinion, The View cries out for women's empowerment. Panic mode is in effect behind the scenes at ABC. Not only is this a terrible headline, but it's becoming a complete catastrophe, which is why executives are rushing. The View is currently experiencing a full-blown catastrophe. Insiders claim that ABC officials are frantically working behind the scenes, considering significant changes to limit the consequences. As the PR disaster plays out in real time, even sponsors are apparently reconsidering their collaborations. The largest warning sign is right here. The loudest person at the table, Whoopi Goldberg, is quiet. Just that says a lot. Sunny Hostin's credibility is rapidly declining in the meantime. Some even speculate that in an effort to preserve the show's remaining credibility, ABC may eventually sever its connections with her. However, let's face it, the harm has already been done. Karoline Leavitt did more than simply defend herself. She turned the story around. With all the power in her hands, The View is now frantically trying to clean up the mess. Okay, what do you think? Was Sunny Hostin treated harshly by Joe Rogan, or was it all justified? Is the lawsuit filed by Karoline Leavitt going to permanently alter The View? In addition, after all this turmoil, will ABC act at last? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We're keeping an eye on them. And hey, if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like this video and subscribe so you never miss the latest updates.